return to their birthplace to register, and Bethlehem is completely packed. I've never seen anything like it. The vendors and salespeople are selling like madmen. The economy has never seen better days. Quite amazing, I tell you. It'd take an absolute miracle to beat what I have seen in Bethlehem over the past couple of weeks. A complete miracle. I can't even begin to describe a word that it would take to describe what I've seen in Bethlehem over the past couple of weeks. Hello, my name is Stuart, and this is my inn, the Bethlehem Bed and Breakfast. I was going to call it the Holiday Inn, but it didn't quite have the same ring to it. There was a couple that came by late last evening, and they've left a lasting impression on me. They appeared to be quite tired, and I was on my front porch with my wife when the two came up to us. The girl was on this donkey. She looked at me and she said, "Excuse me, sir, could you please find some room for us in your inn?" I told her the exact same thing I told the people before them. "I'm sorry, we are completely full. Bethlehem is packed. I have no room for you." And she looked at me and she said, "But you don't understand. You see, my husband has been on foot this whole journey. We've traveled some 85 some miles, and we were very, very tired." Now, please know that I'm a businessman first, and always have been. And please don't think me rude whenever I tell you that I was about to tell them to leave for a second time. However, my wife elbowed me in the belly, and she had noticed something that almost completely passed me by. You see, this young girl was very pregnant, and my wife gave me this look that told me I either A, find them a place to sleep, or B, find my own place to sleep tonight. I chose A, and I began to think of where I could put them. The only thing that came to mind was the barn. Now, my mother would roll over in her grave if she knew I was thinking of sending somebody out to that barn to sleep. It's no place for two people. With the manure and the animals and the hay and the smell and the manure. No place for two people. But it's all I had. And I looked at them and I said, "You can have my barn. It's all I have, but it's yours if you want it." And the man, he looked at me, and he smiled, and he looked at his wife, and they smiled at each other, and they said thank you, and they began to walk away. And the man stopped, and he turned and looked at me, and he said, "God bless you." And then he placed his hands on his wife's belly. He said, "Because he's about to bless us." There was something different about this couple, and I've tried to think of a word that would describe them. The only thing that came to mind was a quirky word, a word that we don't use very often. That word is holy. Yeah, I know. It's a different word, but that's the best I can think of. Holy. There was just something different about them.
Describe your rooms to me, please.
Excuse me?
I need some place to stay. What do you got?
We are completely full. There's no room here in the inn.
You're telling me this whole census thing. I wouldn't even be here, but my CPA told me I had to, so here I am.
Well, you're out of luck here, sir.
Well, you gotta have something for me. I mean, I've got money, and more importantly, I couldn't have misread the sign.
Sign? What sign? I turned the vacancy sign off like an hour ago.
The star, it's the brightest thing in the sky. I mean, I thought it meant vacancy, but apparently it means on vacancy. I mean, it said right at the top of your end. Well, matter of fact, it's over top your barn, but you wouldn't put anybody in your barn, would you?
No, not even a pregnant woman.
What?
Nothing. Keep talking.
Well, you gotta have something for me. I mean, come on.
The only thing I can offer you is a cup of coffee.
No thanks. Believe it or not, when I have caffeine this late, I get a little jittery.
It's decaffeinated. So drink it up.
Are you sure that's decaf? Because it tastes like regular.
That's the secret of Pharaoh's new decaffeinated blend. It tastes like regular, but it's decaffeinated.
That's a good cup of joe. Now I just wish I had something, to go along with it. Maybe something, I don't know.
Bread?
Bread's good. Man, now, that was great. Where'd you find this?
Like it, do you? I got it at old man Moses' down the street. He baked a whole slew of them in case you get hungry in the morning.
It's good. Like I do with all that butter. I'm trying to make it weight.
That's not butter. That's a butter substitute.
Are you sure it tastes like butter?
It's not butter. Only half the calories and fat is regular margarine.
I can't believe it's not butter.
It's
listen, man, you gotta have something for me here. You know, where can I go? Where can I lay my head tonight?
There is a motel. It's the third, fourth. It's the sixth motel.
Ah, Motel 6, I see it. The one with the lights on. Yeah. Well, hey, you've been a lot of help. Thank you. Merry Census to you.
Whoa. Merry Census. What's that?
Merry Census. You know, this is like the biggest day in history. I was working on this catchphrase. You know, people were making money left and right. It's going to put, commerce on its feet. So, I came up with this catchphrase. I have it trademarked and everything. Merry Census.
I like it. Merry Census.
You owe me $1.
He followed the star. What if that star did have a purpose? What if it does have a reason? I mean, it does seem to be lighting up my barn quite a bit. It's so big. It's so bright. I've truly never seen anything like it. Oh, Stuart, get a hold of yourself. It's just a star. Couldn't be serving any purpose. That's just crazy.
Crazy. That's crazy.
Ooh, pardon me?
I know what's going on in your barn. I've been in your barn.
You smell like my barn.
That's the sheep dip. I'm a shepherd.
How did you know about my barn?
The star says it all. The star, them angel-like things. There I was, minding my own sheep, when all of a sudden they were like, oh! And my sheep were like, man! And I was like, ah! And then they were like, you're gone.
Well, then what?
What?
After the whole, oh, and brr, and ah, and fear not.
Is it fear not? For fear not, for I bring good tidings of great joy to all people. In front of you is born a Savior this day, the city of David. Be Christ the Lord, and this will be a sign to you. You will find a babe wrapped in swaddling clothes lying in the manger. And then more of the manger things showed up. And I still have a spot in my eyes. And then me and the shepherds, we followed the star to the barn. And we, just like they said, we opened the doors, and there was the baby.
So how do you know this?
Thanks to my brain. I gotta tell everybody I see. By the way, they said his name was Jesus.
Merry Census.
You owe me $2.
So the girl had a baby, and this crazy shepherd believes that angels are talking to him. Some people see God in everyday life. I think, for me to believe, God would have to appear in the flesh. People see miracles every day, and I spend my entire time looking for one. Maybe that star does serve a purpose. Maybe it does have a reason. Maybe it's guiding some weary traveler this evening. I think it would take a very wise man to answer those questions.
Is this the place?
The place?
Yes, the place. Come on, I have time to waste.
All right, enough with the haste. What's in the case?
The case, this must be the place.
What's your name?
Reuben King.
King Stewart.
Call me Reuben.
You can call me Stu.
Here's my card. I deal in possibilities.
Impossibilities?
That's my job.
All right. So what's in the case?
A barrage.
A barrage of what?
Of bulk.
What kind of bulk?
Expensive bulk.
Bulk for whom?
The baby.
The baby?
The baby in the barn.
The baby in the barn?
Yes, the baby in the barn.
How did you know about the baby in the barn?
I followed the star.
You followed the star.
I followed the star to the baby in the barn, Bethlehem.
You followed the star to the baby in the barn in Bethlehem. The star, the barn, the baby. Impossible.
That's my job.
All right, Rube. Enough parading around. What's your beef?
Can I bounce a secret off of you?
And as he leaned in closer, I could only think of one thing. Tic-tac.
Tasty. And only 1.5 calories per minute.
Bingo.
All right, Stu, I'm not going to lie to you. I'm going to be straight with you. I'm going to be candid. I'm going to be frank. I'm going to be dirt. I'm going to be Captain Dirt. I'm not going to pull the wool over your eyes. I'm going to lay all of my cards right out in front of you.
Get on with it, Rube.
All right, Stu, the baby in the barn.
What about the baby in the barn?
The baby in the barn is the Son of God.
The baby in the barn is the Son of God?
Yes, the Son of God.
Baby in the barn is the Son of God. Impossible.
That's my job. change it to something along the lines of, Mary had to crush out after following the star all night, day. Need to find a way to shorten that up.
Bye-bye. Well, it's starting to happen. And I guess if God can work through someone like me, he can work through just about anybody. Soon, the little town will be awakened. People will need food in their bellies, and they'll begin to run around in their own little worlds, not realizing that a Savior was born this evening. What a night. What a silent night. Even a holy night. There's that word again. Sleep, child, because your work is just about to begin. Speaking of work about to begin, my day's about to begin as well. I've got this end to run and errands to run around town, so